Let's cut right to the chase this morning. Y'all see the title Kendrick Lamar GNX tour. They pulled up to Toronto. Should they have shut him down? Should the fans have shut him down? Should they not have showed up? Should he got booed, bare minimum? Should it felt like his damn tour and took over the whole? Really? All right. Let's get into at least what happened in the stadium. So I'm not going to play but too much of this music. You know how it goes on YouTube. But the feedback in the building, when not just his tour in general, because I've seen all of those clips, but not like us. That song alone being played, definitely an anti-Drake, you know what I'm saying? So some people would say an anti-Canadian or Toronto song. But check out the response to this shit in the building, B. Careful of the music. Look at the crowd. Look how thick and crazy that. Are they gonna say it? Are they gonna say it? I guess so. All the way up in the nosebleeds. Mean. People. You remember the Pop Out tour when he did Not Like Us like 17 times? Not like it's an old song to a lot of us at this point. It's old. Now, granted, when you go to a show live, it's a whole nother energy. A couple nights ago, I just was at the Wu concert. Right before that was the last show that I caught. It was a Kendrick tour. Kendrick and Sis. I went there live too. You do get taken over by the energy in the building. But the screaming of one more time, I haven't seen that on any spot or location or city during this tour yet. All the places that he's been, why is it when he gets to his Toronto show, the whole stadium is screaming one more time? No. We're not gonna do the excuses like, oh, his fan base traveled. Like, we're not doing that. This ain't no NBA game or like, let's say a baseball game where you got a rivalry of the Braves and the Yankees or something like that, and the fans are traveling between each one. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing like, oh yeah, well, the other city's fans is in the building tonight. This is another country. This is pull out your passport and look at the size of the stadium. Look at the capacity. And when you get to this particular tour date, they are screaming one more. I went to the show. He played every song once like he was supposed to. Like we wanted to hear for an old ass song at this point. See him perform it live. Did he do it? Anything crazy? All right, cool. We got our money's worth. And then we moved the hell on. You get to Toronto and the crowd screams one more time. Toronto, that is kind of crazy, B. I'm sticking up for Drake for a second. If he is the ambassador of Toronto, if he is put on for Canada, I mean, he moves around Canada like the mayor, right? They approved him to have extra high uncity limit walls around his crib and whatnot. And how does a stadium full of natives show up to the Kendrick concert? I'll get to them being there in the first place, okay? But how do you let him perform that song? And this is the first stop that we have seen that the whole stadium screams one more time. How do you do that, Toronto? How do you do that to Drake? Has Drake not put on for y'all? Is there not any loyalty to Drake over there, up there? We know who won the battle. Come on. I'm not even on that. I'm really, really looking at it like, yo, shit. Like imagine Wu gets into it with fucking Outkast, and Outkast performs in Staten Island, New York, Toronto, Canada, right? Performs in Staten Island, New York, and then Outkast, they end up their show with their biggest diss song, a song that went to the halftime show or the Grammys and all this. Totally just put this man in the earth. The local natives that have put on for Staten Island forever. And then after they performed the show, cool, you showed up to hear some music, but then you scream out one. All right, Toronto. Y'all got it with that one. I'm let down for Drake. And it's not even an embarrassing thing. I'm not even on that. I'm a little bigger than that. You know, that's the petty level. Oh, they showed up to the concert. Let's talk about that real quick. Them showing up to the concert at all. I was on Three Letter Man's channel last night. We did a stream, and he asked me about that. Should they have been there? I didn't predict any issues for Kendrick Lamar going into Toronto, and here's the reasons why. I said, number one, there's some smart people behind this type of business play. When you're putting together Kendrick Lamar's tour and his tour dates and his locations, right? You're scouting out that this is now the hottest artist in the game. We are going to possibly break some records, which he did. We're going to make hundreds of millions of dollars during this tour, right? This ain't the time to not be on the chessboard, because this whole battle that put us in a position where we do the halftime show for the NFL Super Bowl, where we sweep the Grammys, where we sweep the BET Awards, everything that we've done tactically and so masterfully on the chessboard, we don't get to the point where it's now time to set out on the road, make hundreds of millions of dollars, and we get in our petty bag and start fumbling the bag and doing stupid shit. I honestly haven't seen PG Lang and Dave Free and Kendrick Lamar and all these people make a real big misstep like that yet. Not with this much money involved. So they put the tour together knowing like it's gonna be a show out there. It's the security element. Oh, I'm gonna get the top 5. You see him in the thumbnail, and I'm gonna get to the motorcade that Kendrick was with. Give me a second, we'll get there. But we're talking about that much money. Now, even after you announce the tour, you want to know something that any label, any artist, any management is looking at? They're looking at pre-sales. Hell, how many events have I done? And I read the analytics from the day I put it on sale all the way up to and through the day of the event. What the hell you think these people are doing? If they wasn't selling tickets in Toronto, if they thought they was going to get to Toronto and there was going to be, instead of 50,000 people in the seats, there was going to be 500 people in the seats, you know what they would have did? We would have came out with some report. Kendrick Lamar got sick. He tripped. He sprained his ankle. I'm sorry. He will have to push back the Toronto date. He won't be making it. We're going to give you guys refunds. It would have been that bullshit that artists, even the biggest artists in the world, do every fucking day, B. They give us the bullshit ass excuse. The tour is canceled. It's pushed back. It's whatever. That's what would have happened. The people behind the scenes collecting the fucking pre-sale ticket info knew that, oh, we done already sold 30,000 tickets. And this is a 50,000 seater. They know what we're showing up for. I think it's just very naive, because what? Top 5 did a video and said, if he comes to Toronto, we're going to Swiss cheese his car. Ooh. That's what Kendrick and his team did. Ooh. Wait, I'm not the top 5 yet. I'm not. We're going to spend a little bit of extra time when we get the top 5's piece of this, okay? Let's move on. Natively, locally, outside of the stadium, it is one thing to show up as a fan to hear music. I'm all for that, regardless of where I live, okay? Regardless of where I live, no problem. But how do you locally is like the energy outside of the stadium into even areas of the beat. So the whole New Ho King thing, right, that got blown up during the Kendrick and the Drake beef once again. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But the reason why Kendrick put in his lyrics is because this is where he was at when Drake, he was on a date, and when he left, he got robbed. And then he's, he even rapped about niggas snake me for my AP, right? Was this the location that he was at? We know that Drake showed up and did his video in response to Kendrick's lyrics in the Family Matters video, shooting footage in here, right? Why the fuck? How the Kendrick ain't that big of a rapper, is he? Like, this is not Canada that we're in. What the fuck is going on?
Oh, nah. If I'm Drake, I'd crash out. And not only that, but also demand that your app runs back the diss record one more time. Yes, the diss record you currently got a lawsuit going on for, and also the diss record that called you a goddamn PDF. Last night's show was a huge message from Canadians in general, telling people, hey, We're not that soft. Now, once the concert was over and you thought it couldn't get any worse for Drake, you guys remember the infamous Chinese restaurant in Wu-Tang that was mentioned throughout the battle? The one where Kendrick eats fried rice with dip sauce on the blammy? Well, after a 3-hour concert, Kendrick fans still had energy and they shut down the restaurant. Now, I also want to give props to the New Ho King restaurant. They knew a lot of Kendrick fans were going to be in town last night, and they were offering a free first round of drinks on the house. So if there was ever any doubt that Toronto does not rock with Kendrick, all those rumors have been dispelled and officially put to rest. Last night, Kendrick also made history as he became the first rapper in history to sell out multiple shows at the Rogers Centre in Toronto. This might be worse than catching your girl cheat on you. The man came into your city, made history, sold out shows, had fans from your city begging for an encore. I've never seen nothing like this, you guys. Eventually, we're going to have some uncomfortable conversations about Not Like Us being top 1 diss record ever. You guys get in the comments below. Unfortunately for Drake, it was
Chicks. I love Chicks. Shout out to Chicks, man. Shout out everybody. Go subscribe to Chicks. What the fuck you talk about? We're gonna start discussing Not Like Us being the #1 diss song of all time, dude. We are already in that discussion. Is old. We are in the discussion of arguably, I don't want to say the best because musically there's a lot of stuff that's better, but the biggest song, the biggest hip hop song of all time, that argument's been there too. This song is done. Biggest hip hop song of all time, that argument is almost done, right? Now it's in the start talking about some of the biggest songs, period, of all time, impact-wise. There could be some numbers out there that dominate Not Like Us. You start pulling in people like Taylor Swift and Michael Jackson. I'm not ignorant, people. I'm not stupid. But impact-wise, the longevity of the song remaining on the charts, the tour money that's brought in, the awards that it's sweeping, all the shows in it. You take the collective of everything that Not Like Us is tied to. The discussion we are in now is one of the biggest overall songs of all time. That's the discussion we got to start having. Not this song. That was last year. That's been done. That was crazy. This outside of the stadium. You want to know what's so? I'm actually trying to defend Drake right now. Okay, I'm trying to defend Drake. Drake, you can't even, here's some advice from him. You can't even diss Toronto. Like, you can't get emotional and do a song on your upcoming album or something like that and take a sub like, yeah, you know, the city let me down. And you can't do that. That imagine you can't, there's just certain things you can't give to Kendrick, even if you're walking around feeling that shit in your chest and thinking that shit in your mind. You can't give that to Kendrick. You can't get on a song and diss your own fucking city after all of this shit. You just can't. This shit is supposed to be over. Like the tour is a tour. I told y'all, I didn't jump out the window when I saw the Toronto date listed. But to see the reaction of it, y'all never screamed one more time with this man on tour for any other city yet. And y'all gonna do it there? Then you're gonna go into the fucking restaurant that's tied to the battle and party in there and do the A minor. It's how? How for real? I need pieces of the fucking formula so I could take some of that and blend it into the things I'm doing to extend success. Like, how? Let's talk about the security. Yo, let's talk about the security. Let's see how Kendrick exited the building, right? Let's take a look at this. Shit, it looks like more than I've seen presidents move with at times. Two, three, four, five, six. That's enough. Still going. 7, 8. Not done yet. 9, 10. Come on. We're done, right? 11, 12. The fuck? 13. 13 trucks, cars, police, armored, bulletproof, blacked out trucks we've seen. And the street is lined like it's a parade of cops. Now, shallow, ignorant ass people, the fuck did y'all expect? Let me go back to a very, very old blog I did. So old, it's not even on this channel. It's on a channel called ARP Blogspots. It's still somewhere out there in YouTube land. It's a video, and I talk about Benzino when he called Eminem pussy for having security. And remember, hip hop fans, when Eminem replied to that in his song Nail in the Coffin, he had the lyrics you'll never have no security, you'll never be famous, right? And then I tied that into a point of like LeBron James. And I said, when LeBron James, when he returned to Cleveland, pull up the numbers of how he raised up the whole city financially. These people are worth so much money. If Kendrick could break a record and come into one city and generate $115 million, and I don't even know about the adverse or the indirect money that's being generated, because, like, for example, the flights, the hotels, the restaurants, the new Ho Kings, all that stuff, the indirect money that's generated is a whole nother ball game. But $150 million in one night, right? I was sarcastically counting the trucks. For that type of money that he's on tour generating, him and SZA, it actually could be double. And I would understand. Worth too much money, too important of a person, too important of a movement, too important to too many people. And at the end of the day, this is air quotes ops territory. You're not pussy if you have security. You are smart if you have security. If you ever see me in a club with security, right, it's called an extra safety measure. Sometimes the people without the badges or without the all black outfits, they'll light your hoodie on fire faster than the security guards sometimes. Real talk. Security is a great thing. If you saw me in RBE, I might have been the first to show it publicly like that. And nobody ever looked at. The reason why I didn't get any backlash like that for it is because I never paraded around like a top 5 or a goon or a gangster. Now, if you act like a gangster or you parade yourself around rapping about you's a street nigga and you this and that, when you pop up with security, they get you. But when you ARP and you talk humble and you cool and you never claim to be a street nigga, you say, I'm a civilian from ever since y'all met me. Did I ever claim a gang? Did I ever claim to be a gangster? Did you ever see me say I was a street nigga dating back 13, 14, 15 years when y'all first met me? The whole time I've been the same type of person. And when I pop up with security, y'all say, oh, he's protecting the money. He's protecting the families involved. He's protecting himself. He's protecting his friends. That's what you're supposed to do. That's the name of the game is make it home. And it's also have your cake and eat it too. Right? Like, go ahead and harm these people that are trying to bring harm to us, and make sure that we're in a position where we try to also avoid spending a single day in jail. Do things the right way. Right? I can put the guns in my families, my brothers, my homies' waistbands as well, right? But if they're not moving in a legal manner, then I'm exposing them to jail time if something goes up, right? I want us all to go home, and I also want us to never even get knocked on the door with a warrant a month later. We're going to get to Antonio Brown. My tie-ins is crazy. I don't want that for me or my people. So go ahead and hire your security guards. And if you're Kendrick, move like the military, because you can generate literally $115 million in one fucking night. So don't be ignorant, people. Look at all the security. Yeah. And Drake should do the same if he goes and does a show in LA. He should do the same shit. That motorcade that I just watched, you know what it shows me? It shows me strength and pull. The motorcade and the police presence that he had with him just now, you actually have to be of that caliber of person to have that. I can't get that. If I call the local police department and say, yo, I'm coming into the city and I'm about to do an RBE event, I want maximum police presence. I might get one or two, you know what I'm saying, cops that they might sign, the people that I hire and I pay for as well. I'm not even of enough stature to get that. You're talking about a situation where the mayor knows you in the building. Kendrick is coming into town next month, y'all. Everybody on high alert, raise alert. Let's raise up the city. Let's send 50 people over there. 50, why I say 50? 500 people over there. Yeah, he's a big deal. Stupid. I hate when people fucking act like that. It's such an ignorant fucking thing. Now, let's go into top 5 for a second. Let's do it. 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 Hold on. Where's my friend top 5? Let's start with this. Speaking of how deep you are and your presence of strength, whether it's tied to the city, tied to you, or a combination of both. This is how top 5 pops out. This is your pop out top 5. All right, let me check this out with y'all. Look at this.
Lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man, even cut everything off.
2, 3,
Man, bought
4.
everything. These are lock off every door in the Noble Hotel. Man, even cut everything off. Man, bought everything. He's a
bitch. Okay. I count about 4 to 5 people on camera. Okay. If you bump into Kendrick's team, how many people you think they're with? You know, it would have been even more embarrassing, even though this is a stunt to me, because top 5 is in internet goon goofy mode. Okay. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm going to prove to you why I feel that way. Goon goofy mode. If you actually bump into the man, right, and you don't kill him, you don't slap him, you don't punch him, you don't do something, you don't snatch his chain, whatever you're gonna do, or whatever you think you would even try to do, which I doubt. I think this is a spectacle. I think this is a stunt, people. This is for the internet, right? If you're there showing up to do some gangster shit, you're not supposed to be on camera anyway, right? Once again, if this is today's goon, the goofy nature, the incriminating nature of it, as for y'all lame ass niggas, okay? But if he really bumped into Kendrick, if Kendrick was walking through the hotel in Toronto post his show, who's he gonna be with? Who's he gonna be with? Who the fuck is he gonna be? Even I have had security guards, not at just the show, at the press conference the night before. Let alone now, everybody knows he's staying at Noble Hotel or whatever. Who is he gonna be with? And if Kendrick just happened to pop into the fucking lobby with 30 people and you with 5, you know what that I bet you that video never comes out, because he would look, he probably, or if he did do a video, you know what it was? He would just scream some shit. He would yell, "Yo, you pussy, you got 50 police officers with you, you pussy." And then he cut the camera off and he'd walk away. That's what would happen. There wouldn't be no shots fired. No, I don't believe that, because this is internet fuckery. This is lame. This is goofy as shit. Drake, keep popping up with this guy courtside. You look goofy for co-signing somebody that loves moving with goofy behavior. Goofy behavior. You 5 deep. You're not even dressed for war. See how my man I'll rap niggas dressing pretty when the war's on. Why the fuck you got your chain on and all this shit if it's wartime? If it's wartime. Really? Because it's a spectacle. It's a spectacle. You putting on your big $100,000 chain when it's wartime, people? Anybody ever pull up for beef or for problems? When we spent that block out there, people, we was in the truck. I'm talking to actually some of my folk right now. We's in the truck taking off all of our shits, putting it in the glove box and all that. We spun the block and we hopped out. How the fuck am I in the hotel lobby where I'm trying to run into niggas with the big, you want to fight in all of this shit? You want to shoot or run in all of this shit? No mask, no gloves. This is a spectacle. This is goofy beyond goofy. let's keep going. Let's keep going. You know what this reminds me of, people? I'll tell you what it reminds me of. Remember when remember when 6ix9ine went to O Block, right? Let's quick reminder. This is what it was.
Don't do that.
O Block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Niggas ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Where the fuck y'all niggas at, blood?
I did tell them not to go to Chicago. They did it anyway. They went out there and was there for about 3-4 minutes.
Yeah, it looked dope. Wasn't even 3-4 minutes. When they actually went to O Block's security cameras and parking lot cameras, 6ix9ine was exposed for pulling a stunt. This was the stunt. You out there with a cameraman for about 10 seconds, recording the same video that we just saw, bouncing around, right? And jump your ass back in the car after 10 seconds. And another thing, people, it wasn't 10 p.m. at night. They showed the video. It was like 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning or some shit. When everybody's asleep. I don't care how tough the environment is. I don't care how gangster the neighborhood or the block is. Niggas actually do sleep. And he got exposed. He got exposed, right? Fucking ridiculous behavior. And Mr. Goof Troop, as to what you are showing the internet, right? I'm being so disrespectful to top 5 people by calling his behavior goofy. Am I? Because the people and the authorities out there is the ones that's feeding us the information about you. What happened with your ankle monitor recently?
Mr. Ali was well within his right to not be wearing that ankle bracelet. He wasn't on any conditions to wear it. So him having cut that off on social media was sort of part of, I guess, his information that he wanted to put out, part of his persona perhaps, but he wasn't actually required to have that. In regards to the ankle bracelet, Mr. Ali was...
I've seen so much on the internet. The internet will, just when you think you've seen it all you got to do is scroll your Instagram and you'll see something new. You'll see something new. One thing that I wasn't sure that I was going to see in my lifetime was somebody recording themselves cutting off an ankle bracelet when they're not actually on detention for a spectacle, right? Well, maybe I have seen that before, but I'll tell you what I haven't seen. I haven't then seen the actual, what was that, like the chief of police come out during a press conference and say, yeah, I don't know why dude by his government name did that. He wasn't obligated to have on an ankle monitor. The fucking police department in a press conference came out and exposed the 6ix9ine behavior. Now, top 5 is a streamer now, right? Even Trap Lil Rush just did a video on him, like the most gangster streamer or something like that. He did beat a murder case. I do believe that he's had a bunch of street activity. I believe that he's been into shit. Doesn't mean you can't be goofy. It's like the pretty woman. Doesn't mean that she can't be trash of a person. Like, I don't give a fuck how beautiful you are. I don't care how much gangster shit you did in the past. If you get to a point where you start doing goofy shit, you've turned into a fucking goofy. You went from being a gangster to a goofy. No, like this isn't a top 5 thing. This is just a logical, let's be honest with ourselves thing. Okay? So I get it. I'm not stupid. I'm not naive. The ankle monitor stuff, the video at Noble Hotel and all that, it's to make sure that the me's of the world and people with even much bigger platforms than me talk about them and he earns some money off of it. But I'm going to make sure I talk my talk, and let's make sure that we have the right mind state of what we see when we see this clown shit, this goofy shit. Goof Troop, B. Fucking Goof Troop. like who sees this type of shit and interprets, oh, that was some gangster shit? You ain't been through nothing. Or you ain't come up under any type of codes. Gangsters aren't supposed to be like this. Even the ones that are turned out on social media self-incrimination. Even those ones, still, you got to look at them and say, the moment your gangster codes cross into social media, look in the mirror and say, that ain't gangster. And then there's another level above that. Oh shit. Not only is it not gangster, but now I'm doing some all out goofy shit. Ankle monitor shit. Okay, cool. Back to Drake and Kendrick invading Toronto like this and getting this type of response in and outside of the stadium. To see even academics be honest instead of finding an excuse, I almost shed a tear of pride like because it's so unexpected. I'm waiting for like academics or Ball to find a way to like cover it up or like spin it. You know what I'm saying?
Canada has strived so long to be pretty much a city that's seen and accepted. So to see them laugh and dance to their own demise, Drake, I got to keep it a bean with you. It's time you start claiming Houston. It's Houston time. It's Houston time. I would at least censor myself on certain lyrics. Even if I was a fan. Hold on now. I realized them had no pride last night, man. No pride.
Real talk.
Because I asked y'all the question. Y'all think Drake could go over there and say, yo, the West Coast ain't got no this, the West Coast ain't this, da-da-da-da-da, and West Coast sing to it? Nah. Even if they like Drake, they just won't sing that.
Yeah.
Canada has strived so long to be pretty much a city that's seen and accepted. So to see them laugh and dance to their own demise, Drake, I got to keep it a bean with you. It's time you start claiming Houston.
Yo, y'all seen the way we open the stream up? I'm shocked for Drake. I'm shocked for Drake at that type of response, that type of energy, screaming one more time, going to New Hope King restaurant and acting out like that. I'm shocked for Drake. I am. Didn't they say him and Kai Cenat stream same day got canceled? See, and that's what I mean about like if Kendrick wasn't selling tickets, we would have got the cancellation. Similar to Kai Cenat coming out and say, "Oh, by the way, yeah, this came up and we got to push our stream back." Yo. And in the midst of all this, I see that Drake dropped a new song. Once again, we got to be careful with music on YouTube. Go to his page. Champagne Poppy, 142 million followers. Sheesh. But yeah, he put it up. It's his most recent post. You guys can hear it if you want.
I'm with Smigolino, I'm with Smigolachi, Mr. Dom, Mr. Gucci, and Prada.
Pause it. Gotta be careful because of the music. Even when I played the BET Awards in our stream the other day, it got flagged and I cut it out of the stream. So you only caught it. You only seen that part of the reaction to some of that stuff if you were here live. I had to go back, and if you go replay it now, those pieces ain't in the stream. Another reason to be here live with us instead, right? But now we be getting clipped.
One lap in here, come back with 10 Riders. I'm in Barry, Muskoka, and Brampton. Fuck her.
All right, you don't want to see Mr. 3, new Smiley out now. I will say this about hearing the song. Once again, y'all guys go play it for yourselves if you want to get the full vibe and energy of it. I feel like it's one of those songs that can get legs. I feel like if it gets the right promotion, catches on in the right markets, it could be one of those that you walk up in the club and when it comes on, you're going to look around and see all the ladies and a bunch of the fellas vibing. I think it's a decent vibe. The timing of it is okay. It ain't no Hey Delilah, so I ain't bitching. I ain't screaming. I ain't crying about it, nothing like that, because it's not a bad song. It's not bad. The reason why we continue to over scrutinize and peer into what are you doing now, it's still an effect of the battle. Okay. It's like your next move got to be your best move. That's how we treating Kendrick and Drake right now. And we're still doing it. It's crazy. Or else I wouldn't have even bought this clip up on the stream for us to take a look at. So we want like a timestamp from him right now. We wanted a back-to-back timestamps dropping after the beef. Like we want a whole album of timestamps right now, to be honest, right about now. But it's cool. And Drake also has to be strong enough within his own career to be able to continue to drop what he wants and what he's feeling is good for him, his brand, his movement, etc., etc. he can't get to a particular song that he wants to do, him and his team want to do, and say, damn, I can't do that right now because Kendrick is still on tour. You know, you gotta get back to your own normalcy and flatten this shit out as much as possible. It's taking a lot of time. It's this over a year into this shit, but it's got to continue to flatten this all out and get the fans just back to just regular. I'm Drake and he's Kendrick, and they're going to continue to cross vibes and create topics together at times. But I ain't mad at this drop. Is it a song that I'm looking like, oh, put that new Drake on? No, it's not that. But I'm trying to remove myself from the over scrutiny that we're all doing right now. That's what I'm trying to do. Decent song, might get legs in a club. I'll leave it there. Okay. I'm gonna leave it. That wraps up top 5 Drake and Kendrick in the thumbnail. Okay, and the title: Kendrick Lamar GNX tour in Toronto. Should they have shut him down? As a matter of fact, y'all want me to answer that? No, I did answer that when I was talking about the logistics of booking the Toronto dates to begin with, how he moved in there, the amount of money that he's generating, fan show. Like, I pretty much already did address that. So, all right, let's move on. Who else is in the thumbnail? Antonio Brown. Ooh, Antonio Brown. All right, so this is our 3rd time covering his incident, but peep the news that broke. Authorities are seeking Antonio Brown's arrest for an attempted murder charge tied to last month's boxing event incident. That was the one, believed, put together, allegedly, I'll say, by Aiden Ross, right? So footage that came out, we covered it, but we got to jump back to it and rehash this again because these charges, you know, they can put people in jail for a significant amount of time if convicted. So all the reports that I've seen thus far is that he's charged and as if he has yet to turn himself in or they have yet to find him. But according to the Washington Post, authorities in Miami-Dade County are seeking to arrest former NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown on a charge of attempted murder stemming from the shooting at a celebrity boxing event in May, according to a warrant. The warrant, which was signed by a judge Wednesday, lists a charge of attempted murder with a firearm and calls for Brown to post a $10,000 bond and remain under house arrest pending trial. So first thing there is, if I'm on the lam right now, yeah, you get your affairs in order, you hire your lawyer, you get your money together, you pull out money from your bank account if you need to, you give it to your peoples, hey, give it to your wifey, you might this, somebody might come to you for the bread here, make sure the rent is taken, whatever. You get your affairs in order, and then you go turn yourself in, and then you post this $10,000 bond. Okay. A warrant coming out, because I'm used to a process of you get arrested, you see the judge looks over everything, and the judge then determines bond or not. And you either going to take your ass back into prison, or you're going to go back until it's posted regardless. You know what I'm saying? But for the warrant to come out and at the same time being told that you also have a bond, obviously that happens. That sounds pretty sweet. And I think that Antonio Brown has $10,000, right? I set up my quick affairs, hire my lawyer, make sure that some money is where in the hands that I need it to be in. I go turn myself in, and hopefully in 24 to 48, I'm right back out on the block, and I'm counting down to trial. You know what I'm saying? So he's got a bond. Shouldn't play with that at all. But the other thing that I'm looking at here is they're saying one of the charges listed is attempted murder. You got to assume that if we read this warrant or if we read these charges, and I looked for them real quick and I didn't find them, it might be too soon. There's a lot of stuff that sometimes you got to actually go to the clerk, you know, within that district or city or department, or whatever, to grab. So I don't see the actual paperwork online yet. But you gotta assume that this isn't the only charge that's there. There's probably charges in there of like reckless endangerment, discharge of a firearm in certain locations. Is the gun legal? Is the cereal scratched off like what they grabbed out of Diddy's crib? You know what I'm saying? You got to assume that there's other charges on there as well. And not just because, hey, this is what we see, or the investigation that we've done so far, and we put it all in the warrant, or I would say the charges or the indictment, whatever, right? But also, you compound all this stuff, and okay, here we go. It's either going to be a plea deal and hope that you plead out. They be wanting you to plead out, take a deal, right? Or if you go to trial, yeah, there's 10 charges that you got here, and we're going to try to catch you on at least 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? So I doubt highly that it's just attempted murder that he's about to fight. That's the biggest thing that he's about to fight. All right. So we gotta continue to look at the past of this. But before I jump to the past of what we already kind of broke down and say this is how he got to this point, he did put out what seems to be a response briefly. Antonio Brown speaks out after being charged with attempted murder. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger. Okay, so what is this, like a tweet or something like that? Want to play? Then play hard. Okay, that's a pretty solid, I guess, position to take, right? Now the footage, some of the stuff that's slightly incriminating that you feel like they're going to use against him. Here's some of it.
So there was a viral videos going around from this event last month where you see Antonio Brown get into a big scuffle with a bunch of guys. He claims they were trying to steal his jewelry. They deny that. But after the scuffle, you see various, perspectives, different people's footage of Antonio Brown running after someone with a gun in his hand. You see him like cock the weapon, and then you hear all the shots ring out.
Oh, I didn't realize that detail. There's footage of him running somewhere, cocking the weapon, and then you hear shots. That wouldn't be good, because that order of event. Here's the thing about shootings, and I pray that we all can avoid shootings, period, right? But even if you are involved in something, whether it's self-defense, like, here's the thing about that, especially self-defense. They want any state, like there are stand your ground states, but they want you to not utilize that weapon, any of these courts, unless your life is in danger or you feel like you are protecting your, the health or the life of your own or others. Okay. If you are running, the footage could be looked at like, okay, once you have an ability to retreat from the situation, it starts to remove the justification for still firing at somebody. Okay. Especially if the shots are fired or the alleged victim or the alleged target is in the same direction as he ran in. They want you to run the opposite direction if you're going to run. If you get into your car, you get the gun out the glove box, and then you get out and you shoot, you're going to have some problems in court, because they're going to say, the moment you got into the car, did you have your keys? How come you didn't drive off? That's what they want you to do. They want you to take every opportunity to retreat. I saw a video online one time of a guy who had his hand on his gun on his hip, right? And he was being backed down through the parking lot into a store, and then into an aisle of a store, all the way up to a wall where he couldn't back up no more. And I think the guy might have been pressing him with a knife. And he was just like, yo, back up, back up, back up. He's retreating the whole time. Back up, back up. Finally, he pulled his gun and shot the guy. And he still had to go through the process. Now, this footage definitely gets you off. It's retreating. Then your back is to the wall. I can't retreat any further. This guy got a knife. That's it. I'm pulling out extremely deadly force, right? But the retreating factor is still something that they are interpreting in these shootings. So if you ran towards the target and then they see you on footage cocking your gun, and then the shots are heard, because there's also separate footage of like people running away, and then they hear the shots, like that they have the audio of it, and they start to put the times of this stuff together, just like ASAP Rocky shooting. Okay, this shooting from this camera right here is where we see the scuffle taking place. And then this camera over here, we're going to align, because this is where you start seeing the car lights flashing. The car lights started flashing because car alarms was going off from the gunshots and all that type of shit. They start putting it all together. And then it's just like, oh, wait, you ran to the issue with a gun in your hand on footage. Then we hear the shots. That's tough to fight in court. You got to have a great lawyer, and you got to create all these different type of justifications. But here's another reason why, or to me, the biggest reason why none of us should be shocked that the attempted murder charges actually came. Because remember, when he got arrested, he was released same night. Footage started to come out of the incident. People were trying to piece it together, puzzle it together. But then this man right here, who allegedly he was into it with, did an interview. Okay. Remember, Antonio Brown's side of the equation is, it was a robbery attempt. Niggas went for my jewelry and I defended myself. And that's when everybody says, hey, go earn jewelry. Go earn a living. Don't be out here trying to rob people. If you try to fuck with somebody and you got hurt, people's gonna say you deserved it. You break into somebody's house and you get your ass shot up, they're gonna say you deserved it. Stop breaking into people's houses. Leave people the fuck alone. But this guy did this interview and we said, wait a minute. How do we talk about a chain or a potential defense over jewelry or robbery when this guy got this whole story about you guys being tied to each other and having back history? This is the reminder of what we checked out back then, and this is what becomes that much more relevant. And be clear, this will be in court. This is a part of the evidence.
So last night you got into it with Antonio Brown, and the videos are flying all over the place. And his story, his perspective of what transpired is out.
His story is a half-truth. His story is a non-truth. He's a liar, man. I've been knowing AB since 2021. I have a judgment against AB for 180. And why would I want to even damage that by trying to reach for a moissanite in fork metal chain? He's a liar. The
judgment gives motive on Antonio Brown's side a little bit. Like, this guy's got a legal situation with you that you have to pay up for.
You watch the video, everybody was attacking me. It was a 3v1. 3 dudes. The dude with the green hoodie was with AB. The other little Puerto Rican looking dude that was swinging the bat was with.
If you have on video that this man is getting jumped by 2-3 people, that's enough. There's a lot of bad strikes that's on footage and in this interview that he's going to need a dream team to fight this shit. He really is. And part of me doing the interruptions, people, the only reason I'm doing the interruptions and the reactions instead of playing the video all the way through for y'all is because we played this video already when the news first broke. Okay. So now we're kind of like more in reaction mode.
With AB, and the rest was aiding security. The guy that he kicked was aiding security. All he was doing was pulling him away. So, you know, I saw him. I was in there for like a minute. I came to go support one of the Muslim boxers, and I was with Aki Wave, Rob Money. We took a picture outside. I walked in.
Gotta pause real quick for that. Shout out to Antonio M, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, we try to move amongst each other with honor, man. And this type of support is always an honor. It's always humbling, man. So shout out to you, Antonio M, one of our newest members, man. Really appreciate you. Everybody welcome this man into the fam.
And then I saw him 1 minute in, and it was up. You know, he stole it. He swung. He tried to swing on me, scratch my neck. You know what I'm saying? And then it just turned into a brawl from there.
I wonder what exactly started it. Did you give him a look? Was there like any indication
listen, I spent 40 days in the Dubai.
Hold on, I gotta grab that one for y'all, because he said during the fight he tried to swing on him, scratched his neck. There's a lot of reports that are coming out saying that he got grazed in his neck from a bullet, but he's on camera here saying that whatever neck injury he got was from the hands shit going on. So let's be careful when we read those titles, people.
Jail because we were out there for a Floyd Mayweather fight. He tried to defraud me out of a multi-million design that I was trying to go talk to. Well, I was going to talk to Floyd about being an ambassador for. I saved him from going to jail in Dubai. He came through with no shirt on, talking to the TSA, the equivalent of TSA customs people, cursing him out. I stepped in because I'm Muslim, greeted him with salam alaikum, let him know, look, he's in the company of Floyd Mayweather. He's a little crazy. I used the word majnoon, and after 40 minutes, they let him go. Long story short, you know what I mean? He gave me something to hold, but then he backdoored and called the police on me and then got me locked up. 3 years later, it came to a head at this Aiden Ross event, and all the cameras out. He went, got a gun, ran wild gunfire, and alhamdulillah, I was spared. But when he saw me, I just reminded him of the financial failure that he's been going through. And so he tried to steal off on me. His partners, he go watch the dude with the green hoodie, taking off, just getting free shots in while me and AB tussling. You know what I'm saying? Then he went, got a gun, ran after me. I'm already put outside.
He's talking way too fast. This isn't like a week later. This is, I believe, the same night of the incident. He's talking way too fast, meaning, you know, truth, when you're sitting on, unless it's a super good speaker and a manipulator, right? There are people like that exist, but the truth comes like this to people. And he seems kind of frantic, like as if his adrenaline is still there in the midst of the fight and the shots. That's how he sounds. Now, when you sound like that, that's sometimes a person that is living in his truth.
He went, got a gun, shot Wildfire. We fight. He shot at me twice. Praise be to Allah, wasn't hit. They got killed children out there selling candy, bro. He could have hit one of them kids. He runs into me after he shoot me. We tussling for the gun, fighting for the gun, all over the ground. I get up.
There's police here.
Police out there, bro. We holding on the gun for dear life. We both get up off the ground, and then he's when I look up, the police is pointing the gun at us. The sheriff is pointing the gun at us. That's when I throw my hands up. He runs inside, and that's when they run after him. And that's why, I just left, and that's why he got detained, because all the kids were saying AB shooting. They went got him, but I wasn't there to give a statement, so I guess he lied to him and said whatever. Somebody tried to rob him, but if you look at the footage, you saw he swung first. Nobody reached for no chain. I didn't have no weapon. It's just falsehood. You feel what I'm saying? And he's out here slandering my name. Then he has the audacity to say he's gonna press charges.
What do you got to say to AB right now?
AB, your days are numbered. And however you want to take that. Not that your days are numbered in life, but the days of this ignorant, wild, foolish, reckless way of living cannot sustain you. You know what I'm saying? You cannot be in society living like this, because you're going to harm somebody, you're going to harm yourself. You have children, man. Have some decency about yourself. Get some help. If you took a new name and you went this one, and he wanted me to teach him Islam in Dubai, come back here, Hebrew Israelite. I don't know what's up with this guy. Look, some soul searching, brother. That's what you need to do. But that ain't my fault, and that ain't my concern.
So yeah, even throwing in his reputation there, that always matters, right? You get arrested today, what do they want to see? Got any past charges? Like, that always matters. It could matter with your bail, it could matter with how the judge looks at your case, how the judge and the jury could look at your past history, and he already pulling on that. Like, I'm not here to convict Antonio Brown, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna have his day in court, and his defense team will be able to speak to their side of the story. They say there's always three sides to the story, right? So we'll remain open-minded, but the initial charge that came back later, he was let go, and then here we are a month later, attempted murder, by the way, all the different pieces of footage that are out, interviews like that are out. The police were there on the scene that will also have their own interpretation of what happened. He said in the midst of a fight, the cops, they looked up and the cops was pointing guns at him. So there's cops that saw things there too. You think those won't be witnesses, right? In the midst of this? So there's a lot of shit here that Antonio Brown got to deal with. And dare I say, if you got to scale it on a 1 to 10, 1 being he's gonna get off, and 10 being, dude, you fucked, I'll leave it just at a 7, because once again, there's 3 sides to every story, and yeah, we want to hear his side, and we want to see the evidence that maybe his defense team can present. But a 7 is pretty high without even getting to court, because there's already a lot of bad shit. There's already a lot of bad shit that's there. The history is bad. His interview is bad. All the different pieces of footage and cameras are bad. The cops being there is bad. The lawsuit being a factor possibly is bad. His reputation complimenting all of this is not good. Even the footage of him possibly running with his gun, and if shots rang out after that, is bad. It's just a lot of shit. Like, but we'll keep an eye on it, man. We will keep an eye on it. All right. Let's switch tracks real quick. We covered Dame Dash the other day. There was an update that he now lost everything. So all the lead up that we've been covering on Dame Dash has pretty much been, okay, he got this judgment against him. He got that judgment against him. He lost this lawsuit. He lost that. Judge stepped in and said, oh, now you got to sell off your studio. You got to sell off this company, your film company, all this type of stuff. And then this week it came out, no, now it's everything. Everything. And I seen another post that said it includes his house. Now, I don't know if that's 100% true, but I seen another one that said his crib too, like, everything, like, shit. So I seen this post go up, and it created an interesting thought to me. So I said, let me bring it to the stream.
I'm being honest.
Let me pause it first. Let's read the caption. Ray Daniels says he lost a little respect for Jay-Z, saying Hove, who's worth over $2 billion, can make one phone call and help Dame Dash's serious financial and legal problems. I'm gonna tell you my opinion on that, but let's listen to Ray Daniels first.
That's what it kind of makes me lose a little respect for Hove. Wow. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know Memphis Bleak is your man. He went on record saying he'll always be a millionaire, right? Because Memphis Bleak is your man. I get it. Tata is your man. Those are his little mans that he looked out for. Dame was your peer. And to me, if I'm up 2.5 billion, I'm not going to let somebody who I loved, like they still the godfather of each other kids. Jay can make one phone call and change that man's life. He can make one phone call and help that man, and he won't. And to me, it's like, see, Dame Dash loses everything. He's totally crushed. He has nothing but his kids and his family. We don't even know, like, at least tap in, like, yo, go stay at my New York house for a minute to get on your feet. You know, I'm being honest with you.
Okay. Interesting perspective. Now everybody knows, if you follow the streams, Jay is my GOAT. But I'll be removing my bias when it's time to formulate our opinions up here. I'm always going to be fair. I'm always going to be shit. On yesterday's stream, I told you, I said, I don't want to be naive and just assume that Jay-Z never had nothing to do with nothing when it comes to Diddy. So I'm not going to be a biased guy when it's time for us to be sorry is true, right? Here's the thing about Ray Daniels' perspective there. There's absolutely a side of me that says, I see what he's on and I can fully identify with, right? There are a lot of circumstances that you have to involve there. One thing that we do incorrectly is we just take the top level of what the two people, for example, got going on. Dame losing everything. Jay-Z, 2.5 billion up. And then we make our decisions based on that. That's what Ray Daniels just did. And shout out to Ray Daniels, very, very smart person. But that's what he just did. That's too high level. You can't do that. You can't do that. There's so many circumstances underneath that we know and don't know. What's some of the stuff that we know publicly? I believe allegedly Dame Dash has kind of insinuated that Jay has dealt with minors. I believe allegedly. He definitely got on him for the R. Kelly stuff, like you're doing an album with R. Kelly, and you know what happened with R. Kelly and Aaliyah. That was a big divide. The whole thing with Def Jam and the selling of like 50% of Rockefeller, big divide. Dame has said a lot of things. Now I get it. Words are words. And if you're up 2.5, you obviously haven't been affected by Dame's campaigns and all the things he said over the years about you, right? So I'll try to scratch that. But there are certain lines that as a man or as a woman, you choose to say, if you cross this, I'm not going to let you return. I'm not going to let you return. That's not always bloodshed. That's not always we had a physical fight. Sometimes it could, or you violated me in a way that is just my mother, my child. You know what I'm saying? It's not just those. Some people could just flat out determine like, you are very bad for me. I feel like that's we don't know. Jay-Z hasn't spoken enough over the years for us to fully get the full picture, right? Dame has done most of the talking, right? Jay has dropped his hints. You know, I had to jump off of the boat so I could walk on water. He did, I think Angie Martinez one time, and he said like they're two different people. They're on different courses. You know, there's been shots in music at Dame. There's been things that's happened that might have been like tied to like spite between them, like how things ended up with Beanie Siegel, how things ended up with Kanye West. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that has been said and done that we don't know, to be real about it. Now, here's what I say. Because when Ray Daniels makes the point of this, like, lost everything, 2.5 billion, something should happen, right? I think that's too high level, as I said. So where do I feel like everybody should then jump in if you are Jay? If I despise you as a man, if I don't fuck with you as a person, if I haven't had a conversation with you in 15 or 20 years, I'm sorry, public, but don't create this obligation for me. I'm literally at odds with this person or don't like this person or haven't fucked with this person for like 15, 20 years. Okay. So if this person continued to be the type of person that they are during the years, we've seen this person just as much as they would come out and say that they're being wrong. We also come out and see them balling out of control, say they're doing this, they got this, they're making this movie, they're about to do this movie. He went back and forth 50 Cent. I'm launching my new TV network. Hey, 50 Cent, let's compete, right? Nobody screamed for Jay-Z then. Nobody screamed, and this was like last year, right? When Dame was on camera and his teeth fell out and shit. Nobody screamed for Jay-Z and said, hey, Jay, look at this big movement that Dame got. Why don't you invest in it? And well, nobody did that. Dame was convincing the public that he had all this big stuff going on, right? And then we found out a couple months later when he's selling his portion of Reasonable Doubt and he's liquidating his Rockefeller chains and in and out of court, and his depositions come out on camera and all this type of stuff. And it's like, damn, he's in a bad spot. And now judgment after judgment after judgment starts hitting the internet. And it's like, oh, now you want to call for Jay-Z. Once again, morally, I understand. But if we have literally not fucked with each other for 15 to 20 years and possibly dislike each other, or possibly to a degree, kind of enemies, there's different types of enemies, not the type of enemies that got to shoot at each other or try to kill each other, but the level of I'm uncomfortable even if we're in the same room. I don't want to be around you. And it could be the type of enemy like this. I feel like if you got the opportunity, you would try to see my demise in certain ways, right? What do I mean by that? Can I look at their relationship over the years and the energy between them, 15, 20 years plus of their fallout, right? And say, I know for sure Jay-Z would never or has never purposefully done something that would harm Dame. And I damn sure can't say that for Dame in Jay's direction either. You guys know I'm a big proponent of we don't got a beef, but if you tried to kill me and failed, and I say kill me metaphorically, right? Not necessarily taking my life, but if you tried to kill me and failed, I don't fuck with you for life. And that could apply for Dame as well. Now, this isn't Dame that's out here saying, Jay-Z, I need help. I definitely wouldn't want Dame to be out here saying it, right? Because Dame has done things and said things and possibly has created actions in Jay-Z's direction that could have been detrimental. And Jay-Z, I believe, same way in the other direction. So here's where I say, no matter how much they dislike each other, might be a certain level of enemy, haven't talked for 15, 20 years, grew apart, hate each other now, whatever. If this was something like health-wise, I would lose respect for Jay-Z. I would be with Ray Daniels then. Like, let's say Dame had lost everything. Nobody knew about it, right? And he just woke up one day and he put up like a post that said, God forbid, my child is in the hospital and it's like some John Q type of shit. I need a certain amount of money for this procedure and I don't have the money, right? Now, if Jay-Z didn't send that over there, yo, your son needs $250,000 to save his life or have a liver transplant or something like that, I would lose respect for Jay. I would be totally with Ray Daniels then. Totally. But the difference, and it's kind of consistent with what I did yesterday or the day before when we spoke about Dame, right? I do believe that when it comes to financial and business choices, I do feel like Dame is a victim of himself in a lot of situations. His personality, the way he deals with people, the way he goes about business, where there's smoke, there's fire. He's not having all these problems with all these different business and companies because all those people are wrong. I think this is one of the main reasons why Jay-Z got away from him. There was some selfishness there to me. Jay ain't no angel. There was some selfishness there to me. But Jay and Dame was never meant to stay together forever. They're too fucking different. They're too different. Jay was never going to be Jay if everybody had to deal with both Jay and Dame on the same accord. I just don't, you could see it. You could see it. That's a reality of this fucking world. That's where you start walking in some of the rooms And the company pulls you to the side and says, listen, Justin Timberlake, we just want you. We don't want the rest of the group. Beyonce, we just want you. We don't need the rest of everybody else. And let alone if you're somebody abrasive and there's footage of you walking into these conference rooms, flipping over desks and shit. I mean that like sarcastically of a Dame Dash. It's like, I never saw Jay-Z stand because Jay-Z may not have even co-signed that. Like, we get money with these niggas. Why are you walking in the conference room tearing shit up, running down? Like, they was never the same. They was never meant to stay together forever. They built something, and would have been the perfect storybook ending is they built a legacy together, companies together, and all this stuff together, where when they went like this guy had enough to use and go do his thing. And this guy had enough to use and go do his thing. And dare I say, if Dame Dash and Jay-Z haven't been fucking with each other or even talking for 15 or 20 years, we've seen Dame Dash do or be involved in a lot of shit since then. But we're seeing a lot of failures. And life is life. And sometimes you could make bad decisions or have some bad luck. But all of these failures that Dame Dash has had ever since he's last been dealing with Jay-Z, you can't blame Jay-Z for it. You can't. Dame is Dame. You could read his personality and how he acts right there. It's right there for all of us to see. Don't be naive. So when you do all of this stuff personally between us in both directions, and you also got all these years on your own doing your thing, supposedly, right? When you fail or when all this fucks up, I don't want everybody to look to me. I'm not this man's savior. We haven't been friends all this time. But morally speaking, if it was a health thing, I would lose respect for Jay-Z, but not because of a financial situation. There has to be a line where you don't just keep people tied in forever when they've already showed you they don't fuck with each other for 20 years. Okay? So shout out to Ray Daniels. Interesting take. I just think that his take is only motivated from lost everything, $2.5 billion you have. You can't do it at that high level. You got to factor in all this type of stuff. You got to see how long they haven't been fucking with each other. You got to look at their actual relationship. I wouldn't want somebody that I haven't saw in 20 years to be tied to me neither, but I do have my moral obligations to myself. Like, oh shit, his son, send that. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. I hope whether you agree or disagree with me, I introduced at least an element to invoke thought. Okay. You know, just second guess what you would do in the situation, regardless which one you would choose. Second guess it at least. And speaking of, just for me to be funny, real quick, let's close out with this.
Tell me about Summer Jam 2001. Crazy. It's live. We the champions. You heard Michael Jackson. We live. King of rap, the king of pop. Holla. Turned out crazy. Big event, 20,000. It's the rock, you bastards. As always, you heard? Holla.
Classic video. Interpret it how you want to interpret it. All right. Last but not least, the shortest piece of this stream. Well, actually, it's not going to be because it's Saturday. You know how we do on the weekends. We got some movies and some music to do real quick, right? So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. But as far as last of our hip hop topics, hip hop celebrities, or what's going on in the entertainment world, last there will be the shortest, and it happens to be Kanye. He's not that important in this particular case, but I wonder if there'll be a bigger tie-in on the way, which is what 50 Cent is trying to put out to us, right? Hold up court.
Kanye, why are you here?
Yo. So first and foremost, you heard the groupies in the background. Y'all love watching men when I could see how much they have been overtaken by a celebrity. You know, it's just like even certain recent interviews I watched it. I'm like, yo, look at this guy. This guy is lolly as shit. Like he's jolly and lolly as shit. Like you've been overtaken. Like the groupie energy has now entered the building. Yeah, niggas in the back. Yo, yay in the building. Fact. I don't. Let me not say the F word. I apologize. I take that back. Sucker. I can say the S word. Sucker. The funniest reaction as he was walking up as a person said, "Yay, why are you here?" I want the answers to that too, right? 50 Cent is trying to show us something. You still owe us that Tammy doc, 50. I ain't forget. You still owe us the Tammy doc, 50. But you do have our attention of trying to tell us that your BM was allegedly involved in a freak off, and that may have included Bianca and Ye, or you got our attention, 50. But you got to keep your credibility up, right? We need some of this stuff actually falling through. I know you troll sometimes, but I feel like even some of the stuff he does can't be troll worthy, because some of the stuff that he's trying to put out there is so serious. It's like, you better be standing on something, or else you can get sued, or, you know. So you owe us the Tammy doc. But yeah, he's on Kanye's heels now as well. But Kanye supporting Diddy. Did y'all see yesterday's stream? If you haven't, check it out. We did a whole stream based on not being naive and looking across some of the relationships, specifically honing in on Kanye, his past behavior, and some of the signals that he's given us of him possibly being tied in with Diddy in ways that the whole internet world would go, oh shit. And we also did the Meek Mill one yesterday. So check out yesterday's stream if you missed it. But hey, he popped out the court, huh? You know, part of at least a percentage of him being there is for the attention. It's Kanye, right? The attention. Is he worried? Is he just being a brother and supporting? Is it a combination of all the above? We'll let it continue to play out. All right. Kanye. That's today's celebrity news and hip hop news stream. Let's do some movies and music real quick. 3, I got to talk to you too. I'll talk to 3 for a second, but we'll do movies first. I never claimed to be an anime expert. It's a genre that I love, though. It's a genre of movies that I love. I'm gonna tell you why this popped into my mind. Let me bring some of these joints up here. Oh, don't drop it on stream. Don't drop it on stream. Don't drop it on stream. All right. How did Willow get mixed in there? I didn't mean for Willow to get mixed in there. But anyway, I must have just grabbed that section and Willow was in there. I was watching it's new on Hulu. It's called Predator, the Killer of Killers, right? Move this over a little bit. It's called The Killer of Killers. It's an anime. It's fire. It's fire. I ain't gonna lie. It's a full-length movie, but it's broken down in like 3 chapters on some Quentin Tarantino shit. Y'all could definitely go check that out, especially if you're a fan of anime, and definitely if you're a fan of the Predator. Like, the Predator franchise is one of the best franchises ever. Like, part 1 is still one of the best movies ever with Arnold and everybody. It really is. It's ahead of its time too. But that even inspired me to go watch the movie Prey, because the way that the new Predator anime, which is The Killer of Killers, ends, it shows a girl with a tattoo over her face, and it's the girl from Prey. And I always seen it, but I never watched it. And I was like, let me double back and now watch that, just so I can complete all of my Predator knowledge. And I watched that. Prey is kind of weak to me. Visually, it's very good. You know, production-wise, it's very good. But story and it's kind of weak to me. But yeah, there was a spoiler at the end that leads to Prey. But go watch the Hulu joint of Killer of Killers, right? So that made me think about anime. Now, I will lean on the chat and anybody that watches the stream to drop a comment after the live is over. Let me know what I am missing. Let me know I'm talking about classic. I'm talking about all-time great animes that I need to see, okay? I think I grabbed my whole anime collection. And you guys know, when it comes to my collection of music and movies, if I got thousands and thousands of joints, this means that my anime collection ain't that big if I could pick it up, right? So I'm not an expert in the anime field. So that's why I say I want y'all to let me know, what am I missing? Tell me, like, your ARP, this anime movie is a best of all time. And if you didn't see it, you are tripping. ARP, go get it right now and I will order it, or I will go watch it if it's on any streaming service. So let me show y'all what I have so you guys understand. I got Black Lion. This is cool. I like it's like the robotic ninja that's almost unkillable, right? This is a good one. VHS, yes. Y'all know how far I go back. Once again, I don't know why Willow's up here, but Willow's a classic, so it's all good. Don't think that I haven't seen some of the, like, hey, even if you've never seen anime before, you probably heard of these at least. Like I got a couple in here. All right, Fist of the North Star. I'm in the loop, so you guys don't got to send me that. I'll save that. Wicked City. Shorty's cooch turned into a Venus flytrap, right? Because some anime gets real wicked, right? For lack of better words, gets real adult, like real quick. Look at this sticker. Not for kids. You be thinking it's a cartoon. You can't call anime cartoon for these type of reasons. Once again, like this shit is adults only for real. Ghost in the Shell. I'm there, people. You know, I got Ghost in the Shell, of course. I got the special edition Ghost in the Shell. I got the OG joint. You know what I'm saying? So I don't gotta send me Ghost in the Shell. Animatrix. If I remember, this might have the C word on it, but I'm such a big Matrix fan. When this came out, of course, I had to watch it. And mind you, people, if you haven't seen these and you're into anime, these to me are must watch anime movies. And then I'm gonna have y'all tell me what I'm missing. Okay. But no, Animatrix is crazy. I'm gonna save this. Afro Samurai. This is the Resurrection. This is the full-length film. Right. We know that he's got a series as well. I think I might got the series, and maybe that's one thing I left off the stream. But yeah, this is a full-length film. This was good. I've always liked Afro Samurai. I think he's got some dope shit too. Oh, here's one of them. Hold on, my bad. This is Afro Samurai. Director's cut, 15-minute exclusive. But which one is this? Is this one of the series? I can't even tell. But I got this one. I got this one too. And for me, the greatest anime of all time. I got this poster in my movie room, in my theater. I got almost all the collectibles, I feel like, of it. I really copped the VHS originally, Ninja Scroll. This is my favorite anime of all time. I got the new era, probably 4K DVD version. Is this it's definitely a Blu-ray. I forget if this is 4K, but I got, the upgraded remastered version, of course. I even got the 10th anniversary special edition. It's an all-time classic. So for me, if I'm telling you anime pros out there that Ninja Scroll is my favorite shit of all time, if you know something that's like this or better than this, I'll watch those first. Okay. So when you drop a comment, I might not see everything in the live chat, but if you drop a comment, when the stream is over and you say, this movie is better than Ninja Scroll, I'm going to click play. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my humble anime collection. All right. And once again, go watch the brand new Predator Killer of Killers. It's on Hulu right now. And that inspired all of this for me. So, all right. Quick music. Real quick music. I feel like a lot of this stuff is well under the radar. Definitely for like a 3-letter man type of nigga. 3 don't really know shit. 3 would just get on YouTube every once in a while, pull up a link and act like he was there. He wasn't there. He's a YouTube reference ass nigga. He's a what's top 100 on the Billboard ass nigga. Like, he's interviewed a couple people and he thinks he's a hip hop historian. Let's all continue to teach 3-letter man what hip hop really is and all the stuff that he's been missing out on. Let's try to bring him up to speed. It's going to be tough because I feel like he's missed at least 25 years, right? Like the first 25 years. I feel like he's missed all of that. He's such a new era guy. But this is in respect to the Wu. Me going to the Wu Forever final chapter tour 2 nights ago. What was it? Wednesday night. And it's one of my favorite live shows that I've ever attended. I gave a recap of that show on a stream Thursday morning. Go check that out. If you want a bigger breakdown of the show, go to my Instagram. If you want to see some clips of the show. I saw Triumph live. What else can you ask for? You know what I'm saying? As a hip hop head and as a Wu fan, but here's the thing about the Wu. they are the best group ever. I'll have the debate. I really will. With the right people, I'll bring them on stream. I'll have the debate. They are the best group ever. But their impact is so massive. And I just brought up a couple right here I'm about to go through. You know how much content and albums and music has even been generated by their affiliates? Not just the main members, not just Cap and Ghost and Ray and Meth and RZA and Jizza and Master Killer and Old Dirty. Like, not just those guys. They had like 1 million branches to their tree. 1 million. And 3, if you were there, you know some of it, right? You got like the Wu Syndicate. Now, I know some of y'all may not know this stuff, and that's cool. I only take issue with people like 3 that claim to be as heavy as me and have no clue what any of this stuff is. You know what I'm saying? The Wu Syndicate, Wu Chronicles. There's so many affiliates on this shit. Like, you got a lot of the main guys on here. Razzcast is on this album. D'Angelo is on this album. Street Life. Y'all remember Street Life? Y'all remember Street Life? Sons of Man. I didn't even grab the Sons of Man's joints. Sons of Man is on here. Mobb Deep is on here. Big Noid is on here. I know some of y'all don't know these names, but 3 definitely doesn't know these names that I'm saying. He don't know no Sons of Man or Big Noid. He don't know that shit. Okay. This is one of them ones. The Swarm. What's some of the joints on here if I can remember any? Can I remember any of these? Not by the name. Damn, this is too far back. Cobra Clutch. Concrete Jungle. Sheesh. The Swarm. The Swarm. Killer Army. More Staten Island representatives. And this one, of course, has... No, not that one. Not this one. This is the second one. Killer Army. This one has the infamous shootouts on it, right? Top 50 hip-hop beats of all time, maybe? Is it on this one? I'm pretty sure it's this one. Shootouts, right? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Or is it on this one? My bad. Maybe I fucked up. Yeah, it is on this one. The Shootout. My bad. It is on this one. Yeah. This was the Dirty Weaponry album by Killer Army. Remember Killer Sin? Do y'all remember if you was really, really there at that time? I shit you not. Or maybe because the internet wasn't heavy at that time and nothing like that. And maybe it was a Staten Island vibe. So maybe I don't know how the rest of the world was reacting. But in Staten Island, there was a lot of buzz that Killer Sin was like one of the best rappers out at that time. Killer Sin. You know, his talent is ridiculous. But, you know, when you don't really get those crazy opportunities and, you know, if you don't catch on and sell a lot of records and whatnot, you know, people could come and go. It's a lot of one-hit wonders. There's a lot of people that just get their moments, get one album, and then you don't really see too much from them anymore. But Killer Sin, man. But the rest of the group, Killer Army, they had some shit, but really Killer Sin was a standout by far. Who remembers a lot of Dark Man? 3. Come on, 3. A lot of Dark Man. This album right here, Heist of the Century. This might be one of the best albums from the affiliates to come out. There's another one I left over there along with Sons of Man. I forgot to grab, which was the Deadly Venoms, right? I forgot to grab them too. But this might be one of the best solo projects from an affiliate. A lot of Dark Man. He's another guy that we looked at kind of like a Killer Sin, like, nah, listen to him. I can't even tell you. I couldn't if I walked past a lot of Dark Man right now, I wouldn't recognize him because he kind of moved like that a little bit. He was like shadowy. He was shadowy. Fits his name, right? A lot of Dark Man. But nah, shout out to any of these people, man. Papa Wu. 3 has no clue who this is. Visions of the 10th Chamber. I forgot the name of this album. Wow, Papa Wu. Probably one that everybody knows, right? Because he was young and he had a nice push. Definitely had a nice push in the industry. He was in movies. So I feel like a lot of people know about Shaheem, right? A lot of people know about Shaheem. You know, Man Child. This was dope too. Yeah, Shaheem got a lot of history in Staten Island. A lot of shit going on around his name and whatnot. But Shaheem, man, shout out to all these guys. Affiliates, man. This is how, and this is just a piece. This isn't everything. That's how massive the impact of the Wu is. And here they are, 60 years later, still on tour together, doing epic classic shows and making content together. Once again, here we are, June 14th, June 20th, Supreme Clientele Part 2 is coming out by Ghostface. There's also a Raekwon Purple Tape documentary on the way. Meth is probably still all over TV, right? RZA, the last time we seen him super duper heavy out there. He was doing versus stuff with DJ Premier, and he's been doing stuff since. He's in the movies. That's a matter of fact. Yeah, RZA got a new movie on the way. Got a new fucking movie on the way. You know, these guys is still, some of them are still out there crazy. And I'm proud to see it as not just a Staten Islander, but a hip hop head, man. They're the best group, man. Argue with your mother. Once again, there's reasons why I say that. I could really have a debate, not just on some Staten Island shit. I could have a hip hop debate as to why I say that. But all right. What's it, 8 o'clock? I'm about to hop up in it. Matter of fact, let me check some of the chat. My bad. I may not miss anything. My man Cal Capone from earlier says, speaking of security, what's Unc doing now? Still the same thing. You know, Unc be working in that field. That's one of his it's one of his main things. You know what I'm saying? So you've seen him at RBE events, you've seen him pictures on my gram. We be out the club or whatever. You've seen some of that stuff. So yeah, shout out to Unc. But Unc be around. He's in the field with it. You know what I'm saying? Good dude, man. Good dude. Shout out to Unc. Once again, shout out to Antonio M, one of our newest members. We got Poppy Cashmore, one of our members, saying Ninja Scroll was my first anime in '93. It might have been my first too. It might have been my first joint. And if it wasn't, it was the one that turned me on to say I need to be a fan and follow more anime movies. So Ninja Scroll is really that. When did Ninja Scroll even come out? Because if it's still top 3 of all time, to think like after all this time, movies still haven't passed it. So the VHS that I got here has a date on the bottom of 1995. Wow. Wait, 2005 to 1995, yeah, to then 2005, then to 2015, then to 2025. This VHS is 30 years old. This VHS is 30 years old. I need my anime experts to let me know if after 30 years, Ninja Scroll is still in the top 3. Or please let me know what I'm missing and what I need to see. I will check it out. Shout out to you, Cashmore. We got Tori Bet with the super. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you. And let me look a little bit at the live chat real quick. Are you 10304? Are you Big Dodds Custom? Are you 10304? I recognize 10304. You are? That's what's up, man. Shout out to you. Yeah, that's a Staten Island zip code. All right. That's what that's about. What? What did I miss? Hold on. Am I tripping? Nah. No. I didn't hold on. I didn't know that. No. When did that happen? Where the fuck was I? That can't be true, right? Did Shaheem, I'll even type in the rugged child. Shaheem, the rugged child pass away? No, it didn't. It says no, Shaheem, the rugged child Franklin has not passed away. He is currently an active musician and continues to be involved in the music industry. He has recently released, he was released from prison in 2020. Yeah, I never heard that news. Yeah, so shout out to MSM, our member, but nah, Shaheem's still around. Shout out to Cam Cobain, says, can't tell me K Dot didn't feel like MJ on that stage. Absolutely, I'm sure he did. yeah, he didn't pass. Shout out to Shaheem. Yeah, there we go. Everybody else is chiming in. But shout out to MSM. That's why we have checks and balances, man. You know what I'm saying? Where we just try to make sure that we all on the same page and still help each other out with info. So I appreciate you. Once One Punch Man. One Punch Man. Is that the guy, the bald guy with the tattoo on his forehead and like the yellow cape or something like that? I never watched it. You know what people are gonna probably put in the chat or in the comments of this video later on if they watch this piece of the stream. They're gonna put a lot of Dragon Ball Z stuff. Dragon Ball Z definitely deserves its mentions. It's just such a big franchise. I couldn't tell you what's what with that shit. I know that shit has been running for like 70 years too. It's like The Simpsons, right? It ain't like The Simpsons, but if no one has seen Techno Man, y'all aren't real anime fans. I'm trying to get hit, man. So drop it in, not in the live chat. Do me a favor, y'all. Drop it in the comments of the video because that's where it's going to stay forever. Nobody really looks at the live chats of videos after the live streams are over. So when I come back to this video tomorrow and look at the comments, if I see stuff like this, I'll be like, all right, it's there. And it's there for a reminder for me and everybody. So please, when the stream ends in like 2 minutes, please, y'all, drop these classics in the comments so I can go back and take a look at it. Nah, it's all good, G. You know how many things I've said up here that was probably wrong too? Shit. I probably said some wrong shit today. Drop it in a comment. It's all good, G. Rise of the Shield Hero. Yeah, I need y'all dropping this shit in the comments, man. Shout out to Jay. Appreciate you, love. I need y'all dropping this shit in the comments after the stream is over because I really want it chronicled. I'm about to cut the stream off. Drop these immediately, please, on the comments for me, people. So it's right there and chronicled on this video. And I promise you, depending on how your description is of the comment and the video you suggesting, I'm going to go grab it and I'm going to watch it ASAP, okay? What else am I going to do today? I got an appointment later on that I got to run up on. If I could make it to see the John Wick tonight, I'll be happy. Yeah, I'm in movie mode. All right, we'll be back, y'all. Enjoy y'all Saturday.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss making decisions, my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I drop it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry True Podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.
Without, I think still got a gun. Come on!